Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now, here's the guy who has been just ordered several OMG pillows to decorate my house, Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Big Brother Canada RHAP Up. We're talking about, with only 2 days left in all of Big Brother Canada, what is going to happen and who will our winner be. And as we get down from the final 4 to 3 and then to 2 and finally to 1 in the next 72 hours or so. We have a very, very fun and crazy show for you here today. First, let me introduce you to the guy who's been with us every step of the way here so far, Brian Lynch. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm great, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and we're very excited to bring in a guy who is our embedded reporter. He's gone north of the border to tell us what is happening in all of Big Brother world. Please welcome McCrae Olson.
Hello, guys. This is a very dangerous mission that you've sent me on, but, you know, I just have to, I'm going to do what I can for my country, and I'm going to get all the information I can, so.
Yes, we've sent a mole into Canada to bring us back all of the information from the Big Brother Canada finale. McCrae, tell us where you are right now.
I'm reporting live.
Hold on, let me do this more official.
Okay.
McCrae, tell us where you are right now.
Right now I'm reporting live from Peter's room, actually. I'm in Peter's room. He doesn't know I'm here. They don't know. They're all out there. They're playing video games. They're talking trash about all the house guests that are in the house right now. And, you know, I just got to keep this on the down low. I'm trying to be quiet. But, you know, I'm in Peter's room. I am at the epicenter of all things Canadian. So, all things Canadian Big Brother. So, I'm the perfect mole right now. So, let's get it going.
And when you're saying you're talking about the house guests in the house, are you referring to the Big Brother house or the house that you're in now?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, everyone's talking trash about each other. Everyone's talking about trash about people on the outside. Everyone's talking about it's just like a trash fest. Everyone thinks they're the best Big Brother player. I'm gonna get a couple people drunk tonight, and then you know, just like roll them down Toronto, just put them in the streets. I'll be the ultimate house guest of this house tonight, but. You know, it's going to be curious to see who's going to be the ultimate house guest of Big Brother Canada 2. It's really shaken out to be a great competition. I love everyone in the house right now, in the Big Brother Canada 2 house. You know, it's a great season.
All right, and who is actually at Peter's house with you right now?
Right now, it's me, of course, Peter, Alec, AJ, and Judd, with Mumsy, Andrew Gordon, and possibly...
Wait, now which Andrew Gordon?
We're talking about Gordo from Canada Season 2. Gordo.
Not a Captain Kosher appearance?
Not Captain Kosher, yeah. I would call him Captain Kosher if I was going to reference to him, but no. It's going to be Gordo. Yeah. It's going to be Gordo, so, I mean, it's going to be interesting. You're going to probably hear some background ambience of all these drunken bastards, but, I mean... You know, like that's just.
Are there any women at this party besides Mumsy?
I'm considered a woman. I mean, this hair. I mean.
Like jail?
Yeah, exactly. Prison rules.
Okay. All right. So if any developments happen there, we'll talk about that. But we're here to talk about what is going to go down in the Big Brother house, and basically. We found out on the show on Sunday night that what we already knew, we had it confirmed for us, that Sabrina was the HOH, and then we're going to find out in the next 72 hours or so what is going to happen. Okay, so let's just set this up here. We're live on robhasawebsite.com. We've got the chat room going on robhasawebsite.com. We have the hashtag RHAP, and then, of course, you can send in your questions and comments on our YouTube channel at robhasawebsite.com/YouTube. And so I guess let's unpack some of this stuff from the show the other night. We had the Big Brother Awards. McCrae, were you excited? How did you do in your Big Brother Canada award pool?
I didn't really have a pool, I guess. I don't know. I threw out some votes for some people. I don't want to say what I voted for because I'm pretty close to the cast and I don't want anyone to be mad at me. I really didn't pay attention to that part. It just seemed like it's silly filler for these episodes. It's kind of fun, of course. The highlight for me was definitely the Sabrina showing showing her crying multiple times, and then like imagine if you were Sabrina, what you would think. Like, oh my God, Canada must fucking hate me. Ooh, sorry. Ooh, but but I mean, like, that would be horrible if you were just like, I must be the crying person. I have to be the crying person. Like, that would not be fun. But at the same time, I think it was really good laughs. Like, that was a really good segment on the show. I'd much rather talk about Sabrina winning HOH. I think that was really big pull for her. Like, she definitely needed that at this point in the game, especially for her because, she hasn't won anything. She's been playing really weak game. Get out of here. See, look at this is already what's happening. Alec just came in here. What an idiot. That's why he went out 7th place or whatever he went out in. Idiot.
All right, well, let's talk about Sabrina winning the HOH this week, because I thought it was kind of funny in the show where John was just like saying over and over again. He kept saying like, we made a mistake to get out. Yeah. That's my horrible John impression. We made a mistake this week. We're not Delhi.
Yeah, hundo
percent.
Yeah.
And so, but he kept saying we made the decision. But did John actually make a decision in Sabrina versus Adele?
No, not really, because Adele definitely would have helped John, I feel. But at the same time, I think that John kind of has his hands tied behind his back. Like, even if Adele stayed, I think that Adele would have turned on John because that's just the smartest move. John really can't get rid of Netta because everyone will turn on him. Like, Netta's his little bit of buffer, even though that Netta wants to get rid of John. I think there's John pretty much has his hands tied at this point, and he has to go with the flow, That's kind of I'm a huge John guy. I love John. I'm the biggest John fan. He was my #1 pick, but I cannot I don't know. Some of the people are like, oh, he should get rid of Netta. He should get rid of this. He shouldn't have got rid of Adele. I think that he's playing the best game he can right now, because if he didn't get rid of Adele, if Adele stayed, Adele would have went after him. Sabrina, he has a little bit of wiggle room with, he can kind of work a little bit like Netta's coming after you, or Netta's going to bring you, Sabrina. I don't know. I'm rambling right here, but, I mean, I don't know. I just think that John has his hands tied. He had to get rid of Adele. That's all he had to do, otherwise everyone's coming after him. And Sabrina, she of course has to put John up, but at the same time, at this point in the game, it really doesn't matter who goes on the block. This is the Final Four, and whoever wins Veto controls the house at this point. So it really doesn't matter for John's game.
Brian, did you think it was funny to see when Sabrina was having the conversation with John about him going up on the block?
Yeah, where he's just like, I know, yeah, all right, let's get it over with, come on, yeah. I love how just nonchalant, it's happening, whatever, because that's pretty much the best attitude you can have. He's already mentally prepared for the Veto competition. He's already getting into, it doesn't matter. He knows that it doesn't matter. Everyone's going to be playing for Veto, and everyone has to play their hearts out for that Veto. He knows it doesn't matter for him. I thought that was really funny. John's just always a good character. He always has some laughs for the audience, definitely.
Sure, Hundo. Now, Brian.
Hundo's right.
Brian, let's get into the Veto, and let's just get into our spoiler section. So if you don't want to know the spoilers, then this is the exit right here to get off. So, Brian, tell us what happened with the Veto so we can properly talk about this.
Okay, so John won the Veto, so that obviously means that he'll be sending or has already sent Heather packing.
Okay, so Heather is out according to at this moment.
But even
even
at this speculation, I mean, even if he did, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If he took out Netta, it'd be way tougher for John to get further. He has to bring Netta with him. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, John should have taken out Netta, but he needs Netta because everyone's going against him anyways. He has to use Netta to try to get into her head, to try to make her think that he's the best option to bring with. He has to like really play up that Sabrina has those jury votes, you know. So I don't know. That's just what I've been hearing a lot of. Like, whoa, why doesn't he get rid of Netta? But it's like, he can't. He cannot do that. Literally.
Well, Brian, what's your take on this? Is that the right move to keep Netta in the house?
Yeah, I think if you're John, you want to go against Netta in the final HOH rather than Heather because she is a bigger physical competitor.
Absolutely.
And he's going to have to win regardless to get to the end.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
but
doesn't know that.
Isn't Netta a bigger threat to win that final HOH? And if she potentially isn't going to take him, now, of course, he's under the impression she is going to take him, but knowing what we know, isn't the right move to get rid of Netta?
I guess.
Sorry.
Go ahead, McCrae.
No, well, I mean, knowing what we know, it still doesn't matter to me. It still doesn't matter because, like you said, Brian, he has to win out at this point. He just has to keep winning. There's nothing else he can do. He literally has to make sure that he's the one that's making the decision. You know, I think it'd be an easier decision for Heather or Sabrina or Netta, like just to get rid of John because that seems like the easiest thing to do, but John just has to keep winning out. It doesn't matter who he takes. It doesn't matter at this point. You know, he has just as good a chance of winning against any of those girls. He just has to keep winning, and it doesn't matter. I really don't think it matters.
What do you think, Brian?
I mean, yeah, obviously he has to win. If he doesn't win, he's going home. I mean, he would have went home if he didn't win this veto. So.
And so Netta, if she gets to the final three here and she survives this and they vote out Heather, would she take Sabrina to the end over John if she was the final HOH?
Unless she's had a change of heart. I mean, I don't know that she might just throw this thing and let whoever wins take her to the end.
Because the complicated thing is that Netta's been talking about, I should take Heather to the end. But if it was Netta versus Sabrina in the end, would Netta win that 100%?
I feel like
let's do that.
I feel like she would have a better chance.
Let's go through that real quick. All right. Let's do the jury votes here, okay? Arlie is voting for Netta or Sabrina.
I mean, I would say Netta, but I mean that's debatable.
Okay. What about Allison? They were in the Arlie's Angels together.
Yeah, I would say I'm more likely to say Sabrina, but I kind of feel like her vote is kind of connected with Arlie's in a way. So whichever way he goes, she might go.
It's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting. We know that then after Allison, was it Rochelle went home next?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's another one right there. Arlie, Allison, and Rochelle could end up being a block of 3 votes.
Okay, because Sabrina is definitely getting Roro's vote. We have also then, we lost McCrae for a second, but he's back. That Rochelle will vote for Sabrina. Then we have, is it Adele next?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
We hear you.
Adele would not vote for Sabrina. He would definitely vote for Netta. Heather would vote for Netta.
This fucking
and
this
then,
is Slice Internet. Slice gave Peter this place, and
wow,
this is all Slice's fault.
No, we got you.
You blame Slice, guys.
And then finally, the last jury member would be John, and John would vote for Netta. You would assume, unless he's super bitter.
Yeah, unless she carves him up real nice.
Yeah. McCrae, you with us on all that? Oh, okay. Well,
nope.
he's a little in and out in the internet limbo. But okay, so then that would be 4 votes right there, and that's before we even get to Canada. So I think it is safe to say Neto probably would have the votes, even if Sabrina got the whole block of Allison, Roro, and Arlie. Then she would still only have 3. And it's hard to imagine, unless she got, it would be hard to imagine that she would get Adele, Heather, John, or Canada's vote, right?
Right, but I mean, there's something about this Canada's vote, right? Because we're going to go into the final night thinking 3 people are still left in the House. So I'm assuming the vote's going to be between 3 people. And so if that's John, Netta, and Sabrina, then Netta and John votes might split up.
Oh boy, this could be
One
like
of them
a
gets,
Miami-Dade County situation here, where you could have the split vote on the ballot, and John and Netta could split the vote, and Sabrina could steal Canada's vote.
yeah, if John gets booted at final 3, he takes a lot of Canada's votes with him, and so Netta could be giving up Canada's vote if that goes down in a very un-Netta friendly way.
McCrae, are you back with us?
I'm back. I'm sorry. The Canadians just attacked me.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just bad. They try to take out my internet, but I Jimmy rigged it, and I got things going up again. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, you're a
worst
regular McGruber
guest ever.
All right.
Exactly.
So McCrae, what is the buzz you're hearing on the streets in Canada? Where is Canada's vote going?
I think Canada's vote is definitely going to John. Actually, to be honest, we literally passed a bunch of people that's literally, Judd asked them that question, who are you guys voting for? And it was John. It came out in John. I like that idea that if you take out John, then you take out all the people that are voting for John. But that could screw up the vote for Netta. That could screw up the vote for anyone. At that point, it's just up in the air. But it sounds like on the streets of Canada tonight, John is the vote for Canada.
Okay. Should we go through John versus Netta one more time just to see where we stand if that is the final 2 scenario?
I mean, yeah.
We just did it with Sabrina and Netta. Brian, do any of those votes change if it's John versus Sabrina, or do you think that John would still get the Adele, Heather, Netta? That's 3 votes right there against Sabrina. And I guess the question would be, and then he would probably also have Canada also at that point. So it wouldn't even matter if Arlie voted for him, correct?
Right.
Well, I'm sorry. I had that backwards. I was doing John versus Sabrina.
Right.
If it's John versus Netta, I think we have to examine this. Okay. So if it's John versus Netta, where is Arlie going?
I don't know. I couldn't say. What do you say, Brian? I mean, like, Arlie's a game player, He's a game player at heart. But, like, the problem comes down to John and Netta played 2 very different games, They both got to the end, if it's those 2. They both got to the end with different games, but they both complemented each other. It was kind of the game that me and Amanda wanted to play with each other. But, and it's really tough at that point, even for me as a game player and as a game lover, it's tough for me to decide who wins then, It's really a toss-up. I mean, I think this one is, like, going to go down the record books as the closest match ever, really, for the final 2. If it is Netta and John, I don't know.
It would be a very fun final 2. Where do you think Arlie would go, Brian?
I mean, that's a good question because he's on both pages. I mean, when he left, he said he would vote for John over Netta, but then Allison come into the jury house and they both agreed that Netta was the mastermind, and he implied that there was going to be a lot of thinking done if that was the vote between the 2 of them. So you would have to think that votes of Allison, Sabrina, Rochelle would go along with that. The closest vote that might go to John would be the Allison vote, who has the Newfoundland connection.
Yeah, this would be very interesting. Let's figure out what we know, okay? If it's John versus Netta, we know that John would have Canada, correct?
I'd say, oh man, it's
That's
so
the
tough.
educated guess. That's the
Educated guess. For as much as we know anything, we would imagine John has Canada's vote. What about Heather? Can we firmly award Heather's vote to Netta? I'm like Tim Russert. I'm going to get out my dry erase board next. Is it too early to call? We are calling Netta's vote for Heather. Okay.
I'd say so.
That leaves 5 votes up for grabs. Arlie, Allison, Roro. Then we have Deli. And then that would also be Sabrina. So where would Sabrina go in the finals? Do we have a good sense on her?
She would go with Netta, and Adele would go with John.
Okay, yeah. Big John gets
Wait,
Deli's vote.
why do you think that Sabrina would go with Netta? Like, what has Netta really done for Sabrina? I think that John didn't. Oh wait, he did put up Sabrina. I mean, I don't know. It's fucking so. Oh God. It's so tough. It's so tough to say. Like these two people, making weird noises. That's how crazy this is. You know, like these two people. I really think it's total toss-up. We should actually look at, like, in Europe they have, like, those crazy, like, you can bet on just ridiculous stuff. You can bet on elections. Like, I'm sure you can bet on Big Brother Canada, too, who's going to win right now. I want to see what the odds are for each player to win, you know?
Scott St. Pierre, if you can find betting odds for Big Brother Canada, we would love to see those at this point.
I think that'd be good.
So
That's
if
a
this
good
holds,
indicator.
If this holds like we think, if Sabrina and Heather are firmly votes for Netta, and Adele and Canada are firmly votes for John, this whole game is swinging on Arlie's Angels here with Allison and Arlie and Rochelle. However, if Sabrina is voting for Netta, you would almost imagine Rochelle will vote. But Sabrina coming out of the house third doesn't give her an opportunity to put heads together with the jury, right, McCrae? When the third person comes out, you don't get to. How much time do you get to spend with them?
There's no conversation. None. There's no conversation. At least for our season, it was no talking. You could not talk. You could not, you know. Like Spencer came out, he sat next to me. Like he couldn't say anything to me, and they were very strict about that because they don't want any sort of influence, you know, to happen. So, I mean. Rochelle could give Sabrina a wink and a nod. Sabrina could give Rochelle a wink and a nod. But, you know, I would say that Sabrina and Rochelle will probably vote together, even if it is the case that Sabrina comes out third. I think that they will somehow kind of give it the old winkety winks, and, you know, stuff is going to happen. So I think that's actually a safe estimation that Rochelle will vote with Sabrina. But, ooh.
Definitely.
Yeah, do you think that the Arlie, Allison, and potentially Rochelle will vote as a block?
I mean, yeah, well, Sabrina comes out like third, so, I mean, she's not going to be able to get with Rochelle. And so you kind of figure that Arlie, Allison, and Rochelle will vote as a block, but they're all going to sync up anyway because they're going to have that moment where the jury questions the final two, and that is completely readable when you factor in how they're addressing them.
McCrae, is there any buzz? Is anybody worried about anybody topazing tomorrow night?
I don't think so. I think that everyone's going to be so hyper aware of that situation that I just don't think that that could ever be duplicated. That was just like, just such an amazing moment. The gods of Big Brother smiled upon Jillian that day, and, you know, they made things happen for her. I just don't see it happening, I guess, but you never know, you know. That was the beauty of Big Brother Canada last year. You know, just the craziest thing would happen. So, you know, who knows really at this point. But, yeah, I don't know. I would love to see it. I would love to see some craziness happen.
All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's get to some of the questions that people have about the finale and for McCrae and all of this stuff. So here they come. Let's start with South Newton 1. Do you think there's any chance we see a unanimous 7-0 vote at the finale? What would have to be the scenario for a 7-0 vote? Is that possible? I think it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. Hundo. There's no way I could. Hundo, it would never happen. It just couldn't happen, I don't
Brian,
think.
are you seeing that at all? Could there be a 7-0 vote?
No, there can't be a 7-0 vote because Rochelle's going to throw Sabrina a vote no matter what, and that's probably the closest most landslide of votes is going to be Sabrina up against one of the two.
Okay. Michelle Smith wants to know, what do you think is Netta's best route to win the game? Do you think that she would beat anyone there with her? Okay. We've said that we think it's going to be very tight with Netta and John. Is Netta's best route 100% to go with Sabrina?
I mean, I've been like me and Spencer talk about this all the time. I think Spencer says that Sabrina has the votes. I'm not really sure, but to me, my whole game was like I was gonna throw Amanda to the wolves at the very end as a sacrifice to the Big Brother gods. I feel like if Netta makes that same sacrifice to the Big Brother gods, I think that she should deserve the win. I think that everyone will see that she made the biggest move. She got out the biggest player that took out a lot of people. I think that was the strongest move. It wasn't like a quiet behind the scenes talk fest with someone. She won the competition and she beat John out. She beat John at his own game. And I think that's gonna really it's gonna help the jury. I think the jury will really like that if that's what happens.
Okay.
I mean,
McCrae. I like how you're so into the Big Brother gods. I feel like Game of Thrones.
No, well, I mean, it was always Big Brother gods. Even when I was in the house, I was always talking about the Big Brother gods and how they smile and how they laugh with us. I don't know, but like it's something that I don't know. It's so ridiculous, but I mean at the same time, there's a certain amount of luck that goes into Big Brother. There's a certain amount of chance and randomness, and I don't know if you can call that the Big Brother gods. That's what I call it, anyways. I don't know.
Okay. Are they the Big Brother gods or the Big Brother grods?
I don't know what that means, but is that a reference to the movie The Grods?
It's a reference to Alison Grodner.
Oh, getting wordy. That's a good wordplay right there.
All right, let's go. All right, Louis 8390 wants to know: do you guys make anything of Sabrina saying in the diary room that she had memorized all the answers in the HOH competition? McCrae, what's the buzz you're hearing in Canada about this?
Wait, what was it? Her memorizing what? What?
That Sabrina had a confessional where she said that she memorized all of the answers for the competition.
I don't even. I see. All right. Okay. Well, I heard. All right. I don't know anything about that memorizing, but what I heard the controversy is that Sabrina, she had a secret code with her sister, or one of her family members. This is like an idea that I threw around with my family before I went into the house, where it's like, all right, when you get your HOH letter, if my family says, like the dog is well, that means fucking someone's trying to get you, stab you in the back. So like Sabrina came out and said that this was like kind of a thing that she had with one of her family members, and people are up in arms about her cheating and up in arms about her, oh, that's some baloney, malarkey, all this stuff. But then when I really think about it, they had a chance to see their family members up close and personal. John's dad says to John, "We like the game you're playing." How is that not collusion? How is that not influencing the game? How is that not, you don't even need a secret language. He's telling you that keep playing the game that you're playing.
Well, what was it that Sabrina got from her loved one? What was the piece of information that she received?
It doesn't matter. Everyone hates Sabrina, so they're going to bitch about anything they can. People cry about Sabrina. I mean, Sabrina, she's playing a decent game. She's playing a good game. People don't like Sabrina, so they don't want her to win, so they're going to nitpick at anything they can, to, like, complain about her. I mean, that's the way I see it. I love John the most, but John is my #1 example with this whole thing, where his dad told him, we like the game you're playing. To me, that is the same thing. That's even worse. That's an even worse, indictment of the whole system. But I digress. I don't know. Everyone should just, like, not complain about such silly things. I don't know about this other thing. I don't know. Brian, do you have
Brian, have you heard anything about Sabrina's secret code?
Yeah, she's talked about the secret code. I think with her memorizing things, I mean, unless they gave her a sheet of paper with all the answers to the HOH questions on it, which they didn't, then that's ridiculous. The thing about the code, I mean, like, who cares? They let them send letters in, and they're stupid letters anyway. The people can't write what they're actually thinking. They have to write these fake letters. It's just for show, so these people can cry about it because they miss their family. And it's
And,
just
and their letters go through production. Their production scours these letters for everything, And like, all right, so they had the Ica letters, I don't know. Judd says that this is like the real world, or there's just people walking into the house. There's just random people. You're getting talks with like, Emmett and Jillian. It doesn't matter. Let's just throw some more people in there. Who is that? It doesn't matter. Let's just, I don't know. It's ridiculous. And it's like, and now people are complaining about collusion and cheating, where it's like, it doesn't matter. They're throwing people all over the place. Whatever. Why are you complaining about this? Silly. So silly.
All right, Bouncy Balls wants to know, who did McCrae see as himself on the season? Who is the McCrae of Big Brother Canada? 2.
I think it was definitely Arlie. Arlie was the goofy, wacky dude that was, having fun all the time and just being a goofy dude. He was also trying to play low and trying to, be really smart and strategic about his things. He got taken out, just like me. I think Arlie definitely had some sort of, I think he thought about my game to a degree. He was going to be the fun guy that Canada liked. Now I just sound like I'm just like stroking my own ego, but but I mean I kind of feel like Arlie. I don't know. If there's anyone that I wanted to be, I wish I was John. I feel like I don't know. I want to be the John character. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sexually attracted to John, I think.
that more out of anybody in the house that would be the way you would go, John?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's a hockey player. It's in my blood.
Okay.
We play hockey together. It's just like that movie Cutting Edge. Toe pitch.
Yeah.
Just that. Yeah.
Zachary Zarnett Klein wants to know, is there any way to make the end game of Big Brother more exciting? It's really fizzled down right now, as it did in your season. I've talked about this a lot over the course of time that I've been podcasting with Big Brother and Survivor, and I do feel like Survivor, as it nears the end of the season, I feel like Survivor gets more exciting with each round that goes by, where if anything, Survivor can be boring in the beginning of the game. But then when we get down to Final 7, Final 6, Final 5, it becomes more and more exciting as we go down. But Big Brother, now it's not always the case. Big Brother 14 had a very exciting final couple of weeks. Yeah. But absolutely. I feel like sometimes once we get past like the big middle, where we sort of have, like in your season, it was basically once the exterminators came to be, it does get a little slow sometimes. Is there anything we could do to speed that up or make it more exciting?
I mean, I don't know. All right, so Big Brother tried to make this part more exciting. Originally, like the last week in the house would be just 2 people. So they tried to make it more exciting by keeping the third person on and then getting rid of that person, like at the finale night. That's how they try to like spice things up and keep that last week alive. The thing with the Survivor correlation, I think that in Survivor you have so many characters, you don't get to know all these characters. So once people start leaving, you get to see a little bit more of these characters and you get to start to know these characters a little bit more. Whereas Big Brother, you're watching these people 24/7. So by the time the end comes, you're fucking, God, I'm so sorry. You're so sick of these people. You just get tired of these people because it's like they're just being crammed on your throat. You get to hear John all the time, hundo, 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 hundo. So it's like you just get tired of these people because you just see them all the time. Survivor, you get to know like their psyche. The more and more they go through the game, the more they go on in the game. You get to see and understand why they're thinking and how they're thinking. I think that's the difference between the two. And how do I fix that? I mean, I don't know. You just start throwing in like crazy random snakes. Throw like poisonous snakes into the Big Brother house. Let them run around. Like I would just start throwing crazy stuff. Just go crazy. Just do crazy stuff. It doesn't matter.
I think it really is. In reality, like from experience, from being there for Survivor, like when it gets down to only a couple of people, it was boring. But you only have 1 hour of TV. Or 2 hours for the finale, and you edit it down to be exciting, whereas Big Brother, there's 5 people in the house, but there's still 3 episodes a week and live feeds. So it's like that if you only had like 1 hour of Big Brother a week, boy, that final 5 would be freaking exciting.
It's oversaturation, really.
Yeah, there's too much time to cover it. In the middle, there's not enough. You could do 7 nights a week of Big Brother. and have a good show. But once you get down to 5, 6 people, we're doing awards, we're doing, talking about, we see a montage of this person, a montage of this person, what's Heather eating, and, all this stuff.
I think the only thing that you can do to spice it up is just throw them random stuff. Just like throw random stuff at them. Who cares? The budget's almost gone. Take the rest of that budget and just like invest in just ridiculous things. Fake snakes, fake spiders, just anything. Just like have some fun with it and just start screwing with the house guests. Like all the
what
time.
Would be the episode where they put a bunch of fake snakes in the house?
Well, all right. So like when you
why did it have to be fake snakes?
When they cast me, they ask you like, what is your fear? What are you secretly afraid of? What are they going to do with that information but use it at that part in the game? Oh, I'm afraid of ventriloquist dummies. Just start putting weird ventriloquist dummies like hanging from the rafters. I'm gonna throw a shit fit. Oh man. But I mean, just like start doing crazy stuff. Like just start like messing with people because you want to see that psychological side of the game. So at that point, when there's no one else to like manipulate and all that stuff, just start playing with their weaknesses. That's what the production should do, in my opinion.
Yeah. At least in the Big Brother US, they get into Pandora's box at this point, which I think
just like spice it up a little bit,
Need to do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Callie Foster wants to know, for McCrae, I don't know, but if Netta does win final HOH and evict John, what do you think she should tell him to still get his vote? Okay. So...
well, I like how they started off with, I don't know, because that was obviously a dig on me.
Is that your catchphrase?
That is my catchphrase, absolutely. I'm sure you guys can count up the I don't knows I've just said throughout this podcast. But, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. John is smart enough where no matter what happens, even if Netta's the one that stabs in the back, I guarantee you John will still love her and he will still vote for her no matter what. I feel like John kind of has the same mentality I do, where it's like, oh, if you stab me, if you best me, I want you to win the game because that means I got bested by the best. I think that's kind of John's mentality. I don't really know that, but that's just the way I see it, and I would put money down, honestly.
Okay, well, Scott St. Pierre looked for Big Brother Canada betting odds. He said he could not find anybody taking odds on Big Brother Canada. Maybe we can open up Rob Has a Sports Book at some point and get that going. Brian, what's your take on that? If Netta votes John out, can she get his vote? You think she's going to get his vote?
Yeah, I believe she would get his vote, but I'm feeling her going to try to throw this to either Sabrina or John. I mean, I don't know why she would even go out on a limb at this point and like try to screw John over.
Is that the Giesling plan?
I mean, I don't know what Dan would do. Dan would probably do, I don't know. Dan either does the right thing one season or the wrong thing the other one, right?
Okay. Let's go to Keith Dixon, who wants to know, Rob, are you torn on who you want to win this season? You picked John to win preseason, but the consensus is that Netta should win. What are your thoughts? Okay, good question. Now, very interestingly, Brian and I were really locked in with our picks for Big Brother Canada. If you go back and watch the Big Brother Canada preview show, and I'll try to link to that in the show notes, when Brian and I talked about everybody, and my pick was John to win the game, and Brian's pick was actually Netta. So we could have a real showdown of Brian and my picks for Big Brother Canada too. I would say that I would be, happy with either person, but I feel like my heart says Netta should win the season. I feel like from what I've seen, Netta did more than John did. And John, if he wins, it would be a little bit because he was probably more likable in the eyes of people, and maybe there's sort of a male-female bias with other people as far as how we think of strategists. But I feel like Netta should win.
I mean, I would agree with that. I definitely would agree with that. Netta's played a very strong game, a very smart, manipulative, and very strategic game. But John's played a game that not a lot of people have played and won. He was the biggest target. I mean, he was such a target for so long in this game, and he's won every single time he's needed to. I think that when it comes down to this final thing, I think that John has to win the final 3. And if John does win that, I think that he could make a strong case for himself why he should win overall, because essentially he won out in this game. I just think that they both have such strong points that it's really going to come down to their final speeches. I think that John could make something, but Netta is she's a very good orator. She can speak very well, and she knows the game. She knows exactly why she should win. And so I feel like John's going to be kind of hurt in that area of like him talking about his own game. So I really think that if John wins out and wins the final 3 HOH, then it's going to come down to the speeches, really. Whoever gives the best speech.
All right, are you ready for some hyperbole here?
Absolutely.
Here we go. All right, I'm going to say if Netta can win this thing on Thursday night, I will say that Netta is the best female Big Brother player since Danielle Reyes. Write that down. Netta wins best female Big Brother player since Danielle Reyes. Brian, am I crazy?
No, she's very good. I would say, I don't know. I like to think that June was a very amazing player, so I would probably say since June.
I'm putting Netta above June. I'm putting her above June because Netta is a threat to win comps where June is not.
I think June would last longer in a game with Netta because June can cook.
That's fair.
For real.
Yeah. Good cook. So, that would be...
No, I would agree with you, Rob. I would agree with you 100% because she had everything that it takes to make a great player. She studied the game. She's a student of the game. She knows the game inside and out. I mean, she's played with the odds against her. Playing in a pair is never. It's not always a good thing. That was something that could work against her. Like put up Netta and John. That's what everyone was kind of saying. And, she's kind of skated by underneath the radar, even still with her high profile. I mean, I would agree with you 100%. I think Netta is just really good. Hundo's right.
Okay, so Scott St. Pierre has gotten some odds. Now, they're not from a sports book. This is from the London, Ontario Free Press. Odds to win Big Brother. They've got it at Heather at 4-1, Sabrina at 3-1, and John and Netta at 2-1. Boy, I think you could make a killing on some of those odds.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. Okay, let's do a few more questions here with McCrae. Nasra Isak wants to know, will the jury not see how much Netta played the game if she sits next to Sabrina or John, who both have been more obvious in their game moves? Well, I'm not sure if Sabrina has necessarily been more obvious in her game moves than Netta. Do you guys think that is a good point?
No, I think Sabrina's been a louder, more overt player. I mean, she's in the spotlight a lot more. But I think there's a lot of game players on the jury right now. I mean, Arlie is definitely going to see through that kind of stuff. I feel like Allison, as long as Allison's not bitter, I feel like she'll see through it and she'll award the best gameplay. I don't know. That's the way I see it. I mean, I just hate bitter juries. And
I know. I don't think Sabrina's been terrible, I have to say.
No.
I feel like Ian Terry was saying the other day that Sabrina's been, her game is, really, really lousy. And I don't think she's been bad. I would say that she's even better than Gina Marie.
I'm not going to comment on that because I love Gina Marie. But I think Sabrina's definitely...
I don't mean to damn with faint praise, but I'm saying that I feel like I thought Sabrina has done a decent job this season. I don't want to say very good, but she's done, her share of the lifting this season.
Yeah, she's been put into a really bad position, and I feel like she's done the most of it with what she has. And I think that, especially being into that, it's almost like a Spencer position, in my opinion, where it's just like, oh, you're going to go on the block all the time, man. We don't like you, but you're a pawn. And she's used that. She hasn't thrown a fit when she went on the block. I mean, she's played with what she's got, and I think she did a really good job. And if it comes down to her and someone else and she wins it, I'm not going to be upset because she deserves it, in my opinion. any of these Final Four, and this is like such a cop-out thing, but any of these Final Four, I think they deserve it. Doesn't matter who it goes to. That's what I'm saying. It's such a cop-out.
Brian, is that true? Is anybody in this Final Four deserve the win?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be like upset if he won. I mean, Sabrina. I mean, she was tough in the beginning on strategy, but I think almost more impressive was her ability to scramble as the target. I think John's best game move was an accident, like throwing his shoulder out of place, and it was on top of it, like you need to really use this and play it up as an injury to get yourself farther in the game. And I think Netta. I mean, as much as all the votes kind of seem really close and it could be a toss-up, I think she's the odds-on favorite just because of her potential in the jury arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would be a little disappointed if Heather was the winner of the season, even though I know it does not look like her.
It's probably not going to happen to Heather, but at the same time, I mean, she had to struggle through adversity from the very beginning, Like, everyone didn't like her. There was huge, the first 5 wanted her out. She had to struggle through so much. I know that she's probably not going to win it or even get to Final 2, but at the same time, I think that she's played a great game too, with what she has. She made the right connections, she made the right friends at exactly the right time, so there's something to be said about that kind of gameplay.
Okay, a few more questions here. Phil Gorley wants to know, do you think now that Gary dressed all the house guests on Sunday so well for the Big Brother Awards, he should now focus on helping out poor Arissa for the finale? Oh, Brian, you're not going to like this.
No, I mean, like her dress last week was like awesome. It had like that flamingo kind of thing going on and everything. So I mean,
Arissa looks beautiful all the time. This person's crazy.
McCrae, who are you wearing for the Big Brother finale?
I'm gonna be wearing my favorite designer. His name is Steve Coogan. He's got a new line out this year, so I'm really excited about that. Everyone check out the website stevecoogan.com.
Whoa, there you go.
Exactly.
Thor wants to know, there was some discussion about the coded letters on the BB subreddit, and someone said that the families write the letters before the show even starts. For all we know, the letter that Sabrina got was another printout of the one Ica shredded. But hypothetically, unless it's just like the letter is, if I talk about this, then do what you're doing, and if I talk about this, then don't do anything. I mean, can you really take that much away from the information? Like, I get the whole thing last year about the Emmett, where it was like, oh, your brother really likes Gary.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
Like, that was kind of messed up. But these letters seem pretty innocuous.
Absolutely. I mean, and that is true, at least from our season. I know that, like, every one of my people that wrote, HOH letters, they wrote them pretty much before the season started, and they kind of had to update them as the things went, like, make this seem a little more relevant, or make this seem a little bit more timely, I guess, So I think that, I don't know how Canada does it, I guess, but pretty much my letter that I got when I won that double eviction head of household, it was a letter from week 1. So it pretty much doesn't mean anything. And even if you try to take some sort of meaning from it, it's probably going to be useless.
Yeah. Okay, let's do 2 more questions. Riot Maker wants to know, will Big Brother ever adopt a Survivor-style jury questioning of the last 2 house guests instead of a predetermined group question? Well, it used to be a Survivor-style. And now, so McCrae, how does that work? So the juries get together and they like put all the questions in a bowl, and then people are throwing out random questions?
Like the way that we did it, all right, I feel like I'm going to get scolded by production, but this is a Rob has a podcast.
People really care about, like, production's going to be like, well, McCrae, you gave away the company secrets about the jury questions.
If I don't get on All-Stars, I'm blaming you, Rob.
No, well, okay. I don't want that on my head.
I'm not going to get on All-Stars. We all know that. Come on. All right.
All right, go ahead. I'm afraid of Big Brother gods.
Absolutely, yeah. Be afraid of them, actually. But, I mean, we all got together. We all kind of, like, give out 3 questions to each house guest. We all kind of just, like, brainstormed. There was a lot of, like, I wouldn't call it discussion because it was more of like a heated argument, I guess, between us, and so we pretty much just like kind of threw out things. I was the one that made up the question about Andy. You said you would you'd be a better jury member if you stabbed anyone, or if someone stabbed you in the back, you would not vote for them. Like, why should I vote for you when you stabbed me in the back? I made up that question. That was my question. But, I mean, it was kind of like we all made up 3 questions for each jury member in the chance that they got there. But those 3 questions weren't necessarily everyone's, like, not everyone was like, oh, those are my favorite questions. Those are the questions that we should have. You know, there was kind of like, we don't like these questions. Some people did not like the questions. And then it just kind of came to like a time limit kind of thing where it's like, well, what question are you going to bring to the table? Where's your question? Let's hear it. And then it was nothing. So, you know, I would prefer the Survivor style, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't
And
think
I get it.
there's
It's a
any real
live
problem.
show, and you can't have people like, you know,
Just a
going on,
million questions
like,
and just
you know, what was your favorite flavor of slop or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But look,
Yeah.
where did it go off the rails? Like, what? There had to have been an incident where somebody was asking questions that they didn't like, that they changed it to this. Brian, do you have a sense of when that happened? Who broke the jury?
I don't know, but it seems kind of ridiculous that they would change it because someone asked a question. Because when they, like, the original thing was that they could go in and basically ask both house guests a question each, and then they would just distill it down. And there wasn't a live audience, so you didn't get the audience reaction to tank the jury. So it was a lot different. I remember Natalie. I remember the live audience laughing at her when she suggested she wasn't lying in a jury argument. So, I mean, it's been a while. Maybe Dan was the last one. Maybe that's the reason, because Dan just totally obliterated Memphis.
So you're blaming Dan Giesling for breaking the jury? And that's why he lost to Ian?
Yep.
Oh, no.
I mean, came back to bet him in the ass.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Let's do one more question from Zachary Zarnak-Klein. Schedule question for Brian. Is the 4th place house guest already evicted?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
I think yesterday they evicted Heather.
Okay, so let's talk our schedule. Okay, so Wednesday night we're gonna get it down to 3 people. Okay, then Thursday night with McCrae in the audience, they're gonna get it down to 2 and then to 1, and we'll have our winner of Big Brother Canada, and then Brian and I will be live on Friday, and then we are going to be covering everything that happened on the finale show at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and then who knows what will happen as far as the exit interviews go. You know, it's hard to say. You know, again, unlike Survivor and Big Brother and Amazing Race, that CBS calls me and provides me with that. I don't have that relationship with Slice, so we have to sort of like, we're on our own to figure that out. And, you know, you had like Jillian and Emmett who did not do a lot of interviews after that. So between the jury people, we'll cover some stuff with the Big Brother, but you know, we won't have a regular show scheduled. So if we have somebody that says, "Hey, I would love to come on Rob as a podcast," Brian and I will get together and do some more Big Brother Canada interviews. How does that sound, Brian?
Hey, I'm on call always, man. Call it.
Brian has a beeper, yeah, and then I beep Brian, and it's podcast time.
You know, I'm gonna throw this out there. I brought a little microphone with me. I'm not saying this is a promise or anything, but maybe I'll bring it with me, and maybe me and Spencer will conduct our own little on-the-block interviews exclusive for Rob Has a Podcast. I can't promise anything.
Don't make any promises.
I can't promise that, but I'm going to see what happens. We'll try.
Yeah. Well, don't you guys do a show?
Yeah, we do actually on the block. I think we probably aren't going to do any more episodes, but we might try to like record something while we're with all the Big Brother family, I guess. Yeah. Spencer's coming up here. But yeah, we do a podcast called On the Block with Spencer and McCrae. So everyone go check that out if you can. We're probably going to do some more like pop culture-y kind of stuff, movies and stuff like that while Big Brother's gone until Big Brother 16. So, I mean, go check that out. Me and Spencer, we're good people.
That much is for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, and then tell us a little bit about what's going to happen with all these Big Brother people. What do you guys? Is there like a party, or is there a Slice after party, or are you guys on your own for figuring out what to do?
I don't know. I don't have plans. I'm a person that doesn't like plans, so I just leave it up to everyone. I go with the flow. I'm kind of that guy. But I think there's Arissa's having a party, Liza's having a party. I'm pretty
Competing
sure
parties?
No. This is a week worth of parties. I'm pretty much gonna die of liver poisoning, so look out for that in the headlines. It's gonna be crazy, but yeah, it's just gonna be party after party after party after party. So hopefully me and Spencer can get some audio for you guys. We'll see.
Boy, for Big Brother Canada finale, I mean, basically the Survivor finale is going to be on a Wednesday. If anybody comes out for it, it'll be a miracle. By Thursday, everybody will be going home. I can't believe for Big Brother, you guys are already. This is would you say it's 2 days before the finale even starts, and you guys are already having parties?
Yeah, we're having a little party tonight, a little baby party. There's a party tomorrow night. There's going to be, of course, the finale party on Thursday. There's a party on Friday. It's just going to be ridiculous. It's going to be a lot of fun. But, yeah, I think they're kind of trying to make this, like, a really big thing. I think they're kind of trying to make it, like, the next Vegas Bash. Don't quote me on that, but they're trying to build.
That could be a good thing or a bad thing to be the next Vegas Bash.
Absolutely, absolutely.
From some tweets I've read from Evil Dick, I don't know if you want to be the next Vegas Bash.
Absolutely, they're trying to like create a little something up here, which I think is totally commendable because I definitely love Canada. I loved Canada the first time I saw it. Season 1, I thought it was just great. Season 2 has exceeded my expectations. So I'd love to see this keep going in Canada. I think they've got a really good thing, and I'd love to see it keep going.
Okay, Brian. One year we have to send you to go cover the Big Brother Canada parties.
Well, give me some notice because I'll have to get my passport.
Okay. We'll give you some notice. All right, and then McCrae, when does Big Brother US start?
June 21st or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you trying to grill me? You're trying to You're trying to fucking put me on the spot.
I guess so. I thought you guys were gonna have a week's worth of parties for the Big Brother US premiere.
We're gonna have like 13 kickoff parties, and I don't know. Me and Spencer will be covering it, and I'm sure you'll be covering it. So I don't know. We'll whatever. But also the last thing that I wanted to plug is everyone should go check out my Twitch channel. Twitch.tv/chumlord. Go watch me play video games. It's super fun, and I have a lot of fun time, and I answer a lot of questions from the fans. It's kind of an Ask Me Anything, and everyone should come out and have some fun. It'll be a great old time. We got a good little community going. And
now, why should I watch you play video games instead of watch Dan Giesling play video games?
Because Dan does his in the morning, and his is PG. I do mine at night, and it's rated MA, not for kids.
Who would win in a video game battle, you or Dan Giesling?
Depends on the game. I don't want to... it depends on the game. I might kill Dan in a lot of games. I think I've got the edge. I've got that young mind for video games.
And what game do you play?
I'm a huge Super Smash Brothers Melee buff.
Whoa.
If you know what that is.
Of course.
Old school. There's a huge resurgence in the community right now, and competitive play is crazy. You know Ken from Survivor Gapod?
Kenny Huang, right?
Yeah, he's considered the king of Smash.
I know.
2003 to 2006, he was considered the best player. He is a legend in the community. He will not talk to me on Twitter, which I find sad. Rob, you should definitely throw in a plug for me. I want to play Ken on streams. He has a combo named after him. He's amazing. But yeah, there's a huge resurgence in the community. I want to be the best. I would kill Dan in Smash. That's all.
Okay, well, we'll get the Kickstarter going after this podcast is over for Reality Game Masters 2, McCrae versus Dan Giesling versus Ken Huang in Super Smash.
We should talk. If you ever want to do Game Masters 2, that was what I was watching before I went into the house, and I was so obsessed with that. I got all my friends to watch it. I was in love. Okay, that was the coolest series. I thought it was so cool.
What about if there was a team of survivors taking on a team of Big Brother players in Family Feud?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you're speaking my language. I want Andy Herron on my team.
Okay. Well, Andy's not going to be able to go over and hear what the other team is thinking and then come back and report it to you guys on the steals.
Oh, dang it.
He has
that
to
was my
stay
ace in the hole.
on his team, right?
No rat floating.
Yeah. no rat floating. Brian, who would win in Survivor versus Big Brother Family Feud?
It depends on who you choose.
Yeah. Okay. What if it's the Donato family?
Ooh.
I think they're brilliant. They're very smart people.
They
so
come together. They work together well when there's a game going on.
Absolutely.
Right.
Family Feud
I think
the
they would be pretty good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get them both on the same show though.
Yeah, you have Dick, Danielle, and Dominic, and then
they could be the 2 team captains, right? Shooting.
It's Donato. It's the frenemies season where you have family versus family. Oh my God! All right, so a lot to do. McCrae, enjoy your time in Canada. It's been a lot of fun.
Can you hear that?
Is that a siren, or are you guys getting arrested?
No, that's the Canadian call for blood. They're coming for me. I've got to cut this short. You guys.
All right, you go. All right, go. I'm gonna wrap up the show. Okay, we have a but you could. I'm gonna talk for another minute if you want to bounce.
Oh my God! All right, sorry guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks everyone. It's good to meet you, Brian. Good to meet you, Rob. I really appreciate it, guys. Oh my God, it's getting ridiculous.
All right, take care, McCrae.
Right. Yeah,
bye.
Have fun.
Okay. All right, there was Brian. There was McCrae. There you have it.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's probably going to have a lot more fun tonight than we are.
Yeah, it's almost like they got like a tailgating thing for a football game going on for this Big Brother finale.
He might be having a lot more fun right now than we are.
Well, no, because we're talking to each other about Big Brother, and as soon as this is over, I'm going to get some beer, and so I'm really going to be having some fun.
Are you going to Skype into the Big Brother party then after that?
Nobody wants to drunk Skype me, Rob.
Yeah.
I'm on my best behavior now.
Okay, well that's good. That's good. All right. Anyway, so we have a very big next couple days coming up here on Rob Has a Podcast. So on Wednesday night, Survivor Know-It-Alls are back. We're going to recap what is coming up next on Survivor. And from the previews, it looks insane, the next Survivor episode. It looks like there's going to be a huge fight between Tony and Cass from the commercials. So I'm very much looking forward to talking about all that with Steven. And, boy, we have one home run of a Survivor podcast for you guys on Thursday. I don't think it gets much better than this. We are going to talk to Richard Hatch, and we're going to talk to Richard Hatch about the episode and take your questions with Richard Hatch. And then I'm going to be speaking with another Survivor winner for the voicemails. You are going to have a double-decker Survivor winner podcast, and that Survivor winner that I'm going to talk to will be none other than Parvati Shallow. So you are getting one Survivor podcast, 2 of the greatest Survivor players of all time, and then me. And it's going to be a amazing, amazing show on Thursday. So I could not be more excited about Thursday's podcast.
Yeah, that's a double dose of exciting podcasting.
It's huge. It's basically huge. It would be like a Big Brother podcast where it would be like, first we're going to talk to Dr. Will, and then we're going to talk to Danielle Reyes. Basically, okay. Yeah, that's on the level. That's for you guys. Big Brother. No, I don't know. We can't even get that for Big Brother. Okay, but we're getting it for Survivor. So that's going to be the Thursday show. And of course, on Thursday morning, I'll talk to the next player kicked off of the show on Thursday morning. So a lot to do. I'm very, very excited. Brian, thank you again for your outstanding service this season. You've done an exemplary job. And thanks to everybody who made it through this show, because we appreciate you guys joining us every step of the way. Okay?
Yeah, thank you for keeping this podcast going.
We'll keep it together. All right, Brian, you have a great night. I'll talk to you on Friday when we talk about the winner of Big Brother Canada. This whole journey is coming to an end this Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Have a great one, everybody. Talk to you again soon. Bye.